What you're about to watch never even happened. That is 100% AI generated. And now AI can put anything on camera. Your face, my face, no permissions needed. And it's crazy because I've been working with these tools for almost a year now. And what's happening right now is unlike anything I've seen. And the crazy part, there's no federal law in the United States that gives you ownership of your face or voice. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how easy it was to make this video, how the industry is fighting back, and unfortunately why none of it protects you. So first, it's actually scary how easy it is to make videos like this. Now, I've done videos like this in the past. I use Higgsfield. It's an all-in-one tool, and you can basically access all the models from there. But right now, what we're seeing with Seedance 2 is that you can pretty much one-shot prompt, and it can just be maybe a sentence, and you have great video. As you can see here, this is basically a remake of Game of Thrones, and this looks pretty good if you ask me. The physics, the character. Then there was this one with LeBron. This one. It's wild how easy and how good these models are becoming. And so yes, Hollywood obviously got nervous when Brad Pitt AI was fighting Tom Cruise AI. So after OpenAI released Sora 2, that's when the deepfakes started emerging. After some of those deepfakes, we saw OpenAI make an announcement that they'll be working with Bryan Cranston and other unions to protect it against deepfakes on its artificial intelligence and video production. A lot of actors, including Bryan Cranston, expressed concern after unauthorized AI-generated clips use his voice and likeness. Right now, it's black and gray. There is really no definitive laws that say you can't use a voice and likeness, which we'll talk about here in a sec. OpenAI, it will collaborate with United Talent Agency, and some other unions to strengthen guardrails around unapproved AI generations. So then we even had OpenAI had to block videos of Martin Luther King Jr. on Sora at the request of the King's estate. So it does not matter if you are alive or have passed. Robin Williams, his estate had to say, please take some videos down because we did not consent to that. And so the company reiterated its support of the No Fakes Act. That's one of the bills being passed right now. But as you know, with government, it does take time to get these things across. And so right now, kind of the only thing stopping people from kind of doing this type of imagery or videos is morally wrong. However, some companies overseas don't care about that. They care rather about the virality. And so now it is starting to affect political deepfake advertisements. The manipulation of content can be used in political communications. In 2024, the US Senate candidate created an ad that featured his opponent holding a sign she never held. And this is only getting crazier. Again, it's very easy to basically face swap someone in that was not there and make them do things they did not do. We have constitutional challenges. Right? So, however, these laws could run up against constitutional protections for free speech. So now, again, with this new emerging technology, government is usually slow in what they do. That's just the nature of the beast. So now you're going to have kind of some conflicts between the Constitution and some of these things due to this new technology coming through. So looking into the future, lawmakers are expected to broaden their approach beyond punishing individual creators and distributors of deepfakes to include entities that enable production and dissemination. So people who are enabling this type of technology. So unfortunately, there's pros and cons with all technology, but as we have here in 2026, deepfake statistics and facts prove this is no longer science fiction. Deepfake phishing scams utilizing AI-generated voice and video are becoming increasingly difficult to detect, making it important for individuals and organizations to understand the risks. So I know with Sora 2, what they did, they kept the watermark on just to notify users that this is AI generated. However, a lot of these watermarks can be removed with other platforms. And unfortunately, a lot of the senior population are falling for these type of scams. As we can see here, deepfake files surged from 500,000 in 2023 to a projected 8 million in 2025. The volume of deepfake content is projected to increase by 900% annually, which is absolutely wild, but makes sense given the rate of these models and how good they're getting. Generative AI fraud in the US is expected to hit 40 billion by 2027. And it's important to note that studios can no longer create or reuse a digital replica of a performer. Performers must be informed and compensated for each specific use of their digital replica. This shift addresses a major gap in US law. Copyright protects original works of scripts, films, and music, while trademark protects names, symbols, or designs used in commerce to identify and distinguish a brand's good or services. And as we know, with OpenAI, their voice originally sounded a lot like Scarlett Johansson, if you recall that. And it just goes to show the legal gray area. So in 2024, the estate of comedian George Carlin sued over an AI-generated performance that mimicked his voice in comedic style, alleging violations of his right of publicity and copyright. As AI adoption grows, not just in film production, but across the industry, talent agencies are stepping in to shape how these tools affect their clients. And so again, you can see there's not too many laws being passed at the moment. Interestingly enough, the No Fakes Act, which seeks to create federal protections for artists' voice, likeness, and image from unauthorized AI-generated deepfakes. The group argued that Americans across the board, whether teenagers or high-profile music artists, were at deep risk of their likeness being misused. So unfortunately, as you can see, stuff is starting to be passed, or at least thought of. However, this doesn't apply to the average individual. Rather, if you're a high profile individual, this may concern you. The No Fakes Act would also hold platforms liable if they knew a replica was not authorized, while excluding certain digital replicas from coverage based on First Amendment protections. However, like I said, U.S. AI governance and regulation. Outside of broad AI governance frameworks, most of the U.S. regulatory efforts regarding AI have centered on three things: federal agency assessments and enforcement, exploration of whether individual agencies require additional authorities, and securing voluntary commitments from industry. So again, things are moving very slowly, but the AI industry is moving so fast. I mean, every other month it feels like a new model is being put forth. But I know right now in the AI race, a lot of companies are pushing for virality, not necessarily what is morally right or legal. And so we'll see kind of the repercussions of what takes place. But I know some other countries as well are starting to implement some of these laws slowly. I think we'll get there, but it's going to be interesting to see how this all shapes up. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Subscribe, take care, and I'll see you next time.